Wahala for who no dey straightforward. Hey, hey, my people. Wonders they say it shall never end. Still on justice for Mohbad. No be small thing, no be small matter. I dey tell una this matter wey dey ground like this. Omo, e don pass Wunmi power. Even Wunmi Cynthia Adebanjo, she never believe say it will get to this very extent. Yes, so to be straightforward is one thing, to be truthful is another thing. My people, make I no take much of una time. Make una come hear another evidence against Wunmi Cynthia Adebanjo. With all the lies put together, only she dey talk different things. Make una come, make we gather watch this one together. This is deep. You're about to hear another bombshell. But before then, I still remember una humble get request. I mean, they bring una latest ogbonge to read. If you never subscribe to this channel, please subscribe. Hit on the subscribe button and click on the notification bell so they go notify you anytime we drop to read like this. Let's go, dear guys.
Character should not be asked. We are here to find out what caused the death of the deceased. There was an allegation that on that same Monday night, you had a quarrel with your husband. It was not a quarrel. I was not the one who had a quarrel with him. What happened regarding the issue of the Canadian visa that he got without letting you know, and you were angry with him? I was not angry with him. My father-in-law and I used to be best of friends. We would eat from the same table and drink from the same cup. He was my best friend, my right hand in my marriage. With faith, with him and God, I had my baby, Liam. He walked up to me and said the Holy Spirit told him that myself, him, and my husband should fast for 7 days, and we would have a baby, which we did. While I was pregnant, he would bring fruits, vegetables, and foodstuffs to me. We were best of friends, and I did not kill my husband. My husband loved me so much. I know that all these allegations against me are from my father-in-law. God sees my heart. He was my best friend. Sometimes I would call him to visit me whenever I was bored. That was how close we were. I'm not trying to hide that I am guilty, but I am just surprised and disappointed about so many things happening. The only issue between me and my father-in-law was when I had my baby, and he told me to give him the placenta. I did not ask you those questions. Please let me talk. I know where this attack is coming from. Ma, you are also a woman. Please let me talk. I never wronged him. I loved him like my father. I was the one who started this coroner inquest. The only way you can get justice for your husband, whom you so much love, is to listen to the questions and answer the ones being asked. He said I was fighting my husband for a Canadian visa, which never happened. That is the answer. Just answer the questions you are being asked, because when you open the door for more questions, you might not like it at the end of the day. There have been so many allegations. Let the allegations be asked, then you would answer one step at a time. A lot of lies have been coming, and I wanted to clear the air. Everybody knows that, and the court sympathizes with you. Please calm down. How old are you? I am 24. I myself, my first daughter is about 25 years old. I can feel your pain and what is going on in your head. A lot. They want to kill me, but I will not die for my child. You have to calm down to answer these questions so that justice will be served. Please face the court and answer the questions. Do you want your family member to get you water? I recap the question. On Monday, 11th of September, 2023, there was a quarrel between you and your husband about the fact that he got a Canadian visa for himself without letting you know? Nothing like that happened. That day, we were just chatting, and we see each other as best friends. We usually talk about everything, and sometimes we stay in the room for a week. Sometimes we don't step out for 2 days. The day we talked about the Canadian visa, I was the one who posted it on social media. Nobody knew about it. That day, we were talking about wanting to have our baby outside the country, but we didn't have enough money at the time. When he left the label last year, he left with 0 naira, and when I had my baby in April, there was not enough money. He said he didn't want his child to turn 1 in this country, and that he wanted our child to school abroad. I kept postponing him. That day, he said he didn't want the baby to grow up in this country. He knows the kind of music he does, and many people don't love him. He mentioned that ever since we had our baby, he hadn't posted him on social media, and he said a lot of people were watching him. If they couldn't get to him, they might get to his child or me. I used to ask him why he wouldn't post me on social media, and he'd say he was trying to protect us. That day, he almost knelt down, begging me. He was very emotional. He didn't even want me to sleep. He wanted to play with me. I said I was tired, so he held our baby to his chest and slept until the next day. There was no quarrel about the Canadian visa because he knew I didn't like leaving him. And he didn't like leaving me either. But for our son's sake, I had to summon the courage to agree to leave for our safety. Nobody knew on social media that he had a child or a wife until he died. There was a reason for hiding ourselves. If you have any additional requests or further changes, feel free to ask.
It continues.
I recap the question. On Monday, 11th September 2023, there was a quarrel between you and your husband regarding the fact that he got a Canadian visa for himself without letting you know? Nothing of such happened. That day, we were just chatting. We saw each other as best friends and usually talked about everything. Sometimes we stayed in the room for a week or didn't step out for 2 days. When we talked about the Canadian visa, I was the one who posted it on social media. Nobody knew about it. That day, we discussed having our baby outside the country, but we didn't have enough money. When he left his label last year, he left with 0 naira. And when I had my baby in April, we didn't have enough money. He said he didn't want his child to turn 1 in this country. He wanted our child to go to school outside Nigeria, and I kept postponing the idea. That day, he said he didn't want the baby to grow up here, especially considering the kind of music he did and the people who didn't like him, how I would feed as a stay-at-home mom if I traveled without him. He said jokingly that he'd use his lawyer to ensure I was taken care of and signed an undertaking not to cheat me or our son. That Monday, we talked till 3:40 a.m. on Tuesday. He didn't even want me to sleep. He just wanted to be with me. There was nothing like fighting about the Canadian visa because I didn't like leaving him and he didn't like leaving me either. But for our child's safety, he wanted us to go. No one knew about our child or me until he died. There was a reason for keeping us hidden. So, there was no quarrel? There was no quarrel. Around what time on Tuesday did he die? Do you have any idea? I do not have an exact idea. Was it in the morning or afternoon? It was in the afternoon. At what point did you inform the father-in-law? I did not inform him. Ever since I had my baby, my father-in-law had been picking fights with me. The day before I had my baby, my father-in-law came to give money to my siblings. That's how close we were. He was the first person I told when I was pregnant, but I didn't inform him about my husband's death for some reasons. So, you didn't inform him? I didn't inform him. My mother-in-law knew. The reason I didn't tell him is that when I had my baby, he insisted on burying the placenta. My husband refused, saying his father had many wives and couldn't be allowed to bury the placenta. My father-in-law got mad at me, thinking I was the one who influenced my husband. He also used to bring different girls to our house on the island. One day, my mother-in-law came unannounced and found a girl in the room with him. She was very angry and told me I shouldn't allow such things in my matrimonial home. I didn't want to be in the middle of their issues, so I told my husband about it. I think the way my husband confronted his father was wrong. But that day, my father-in-law slept with the girl, and my mother-in-law slept downstairs. He felt I was the one who ordered my husband to confront him, which I never did. There was also an issue with the placenta, and after having my baby, my father-in-law stopped coming to the house. On the day of the naming ceremony, he wanted to have his party in his house, but my husband told him he didn't have enough money for that. My father-in-law called my father and cursed him out. If my husband didn't give him money, he would call me and curse me. My husband told him there wasn't any money, and my father-in-law called me again, threatening me. The money someone gifted me for the naming ceremony, I sent to my father-in-law to calm him down. I told him not to be angry. I just got the money from someone. I want you to save your energy and time. The question I ask is why you didn't inform your father-in-law, and you've said it's because you weren't close anymore? Yes, we stopped being close after I had Liam. Who informed your father-in-law? I think my mother-in-law did. The cut you said was minor was actually major, wasn't it? It was deep. It wasn't that deep. It was a cut, but not deep. Not a deep cut at all? No, it wasn't. In your house, do you have CCTV? Yes. Was there a CCTV recording of the events on Monday, the 11th of September? No. The CCTV cameras were not fixed. We had just moved to that house. It was only a week before my husband died that we even got the chairs for the parlor. The CCTV wasn't fixed before the incident. Because you moved to that house less than a week? No, we had moved 4 months ago. So the entire 4 months you were in the house, the CCTV was not working? We were still trying to arrange the house. My husband didn't have money like people thought. The family knows. Do you have a Twitter account? No. Are you on Instagram? Yes. I want to read a message that you authored. This nigga struggled to death. Too many things. Threatened. He has always lived in fear. Continuous fight everywhere he goes to. He has never been happy for a whole day. He was called a junkie. A mad person. Mental issues. So the public will have another view about him. He is dead. At least you all won. Here's your trophy. You all made me a widow at 24 years.
That CCTV in that house was not was not installed by Awotowabe. It was installed from the beginning of the Batoti. I didn't hear all this. No. I'll put it if I will let me off. No. My brother.
Mr. Yomi, Rito Kokoni, yes. Only office is CCTV. Only yet later only no. Only no. Only
let me finish, and then I'm gonna play the inconsistencies.
Oh my god!
And then,
oh my god!
We'll take it from there.
That? Who were you referring to? I was referring to a lot of people. My husband went through pain. He was dead before the real death came. He was never happy. The day he died, we talked about his oppressors, which is why he wanted me and our son to go to Canada. The day I wrote that, he had just died. When he was alive, they were always threatening him. A man named Micey, who was once his close friend, snitched on him and dragged him on social media several times. In June, Micey did a live video cursing my husband, calling him a drug addict, and making other accusations. My husband stopped going out. He was always indoors. I would spoon feed him like a baby, and he wouldn't eat. He didn't sleep. He overthought everything and was depressed. His oppressors were always after him, sometimes through fake accounts, threatening that they would kill him. That's why I wrote those things. I was just typing out of pain. Everything my husband said before he died was coming back to me, and I put it on social media. Certainly. Here's the rest.
Okay. So, this is an AI basically analyzing the case. This one I'm going to play now.
The titles.
Yes, sir.
Panelists, members. You now see why after I came up with my fact finding, the reason why by now the only person that they need to bring into that court, if the legal team, Baba's legal team, need to do a very good job now, they should go to that estate, find that person who built the estate, and come and testify on the type of CCTV in that house. You realize that it has nothing to do with Mohbad, rather. And very soon, I will drop something that will give you guys a clue that it has nothing to do with Mohbad. That is the only thing I will be officially allowed to release. If the government now decide not to go further, I don't know whether we're going to rely on the coroner inquest or the new team the police might bring onto this case. But trust me, with that statement of somebody who is a wife and claiming, oh, he bought it, but they are not working, knowing fully well that he wasn't the one that bought it. And those CCTVs, go and check it. They are conduits. They are not surface CCTV cameras. Maybe they don't know what they are telling you. And if this can come up and the police are not doing anything, I don't want to say we're going to protest against the police. Not yet. But trust me, when somebody needs to say, you just have to, those things are conduits. So I will only tell us, let us wait. Are you saying?
Sure.
When they say conduits, yes, my brother, thank you. Inbuilt CCTV. It's not something so there's no way he would have, pierced the entire wall and asked them to lay the CCTV inside. They are inbuilt conduit CCTV, except anybody wants to learn, including the one outside. So how come she will say, but it was not, no. Was there any objection from Baba's lawyer on the CCTV? Did they even have an idea, or did they even refute that, Mr. Titus?
To be honest, I've not read the whole thing. It's a long, I think questioning went on for about 5 hours.
Well, probably should know. Anybody in the panelists, was there a time that they refute that claim of Mohbad purchasing the CCTV, but they were not working and stuff like that at any point to prove that it wasn't, that Mohbad's hands was not there? They only shared the iCloud of a CCTV with him.
That's it. That's why we need the iCloud account. Yeah.
There is another one. The main iCloud account but brother, I don't want to talk too much.
Okay.
Are you I'm saying?
Yeah.
The police should go there, because if you and I have access to the CCTV, the only thing we can do is throw it into the public, and there's pandemonium. And then people will start running, they will escape.
Yeah.
So the best thing is for the police to go there, obtain it legally, that it will not be questioned. They will not get the certified copy of that stuff, and it will be tendered as proper evidence. So nobody will come and say it was doctored. Okay. It was this, it was that. The camera in front of that house, Bongo, as we speak now, is still working. Well else. I have not gone inside. But I can tell you for free. Listen carefully, guys. Nobody knows tomorrow. There is CCTV camera in the kitchen. Staircase. CCTV in the kitchen. Don't worry. Staircase, the backyard, and the living room. Then 2 in front of the front gate. So I don't know, those that have been into the house, or do we have any video of inside the house? Are those CCTV towards staircase, are they still there, or they've removed it?
So they were still there. They were still there. They were still present when Iyabo, Joe, Tonsolike, and Senator went to
the kitchen.
Well, we could see only that living room, and yeah, we spotted a CCTV on the wall.
Okay, so that is what they said is not working.
That's what they're claiming is not working here.
So the point is this: let's be very straight. I don't know. I have to speak with the legal team again, and that is why I don't know why anybody wants me out of this kind of situation, because me, I will say as it is. I'm not interested in any gender. I want justice. I'm not doing playing gender card. I'm not an activist that will look into a case, and when you get to a stage and you realize that, okay, it's taking this side, and it's not favoring you, and I'll turn back. I'm not going to do that.
No favoritism.
No, I got no time for that. When I went to this man's case, the case I went to today, let me bust you guys bubble. When they saw me paying for the guy's feeding, as in the suspect. As a matter of fact, I've paid for his feeding for 1 week. I didn't tell you guys, I have to tell you guys. I paid for his feeding. They cuffed him to the back. And I pleaded that they should bring the cuff to the front. You understand what I'm saying? I even said if they torture him, he should tell me, and I beg the police, please do not. They said, torture for who? No, they wouldn't. So he has confessed now. They're not going to torture. And I begged, I said, they were looking at, why am I begging that they should not torture? I said, why do you want to torture him? Evidence are there. The child identified him. I was sitting there. The father was standing beside the suspect. The woman, the OC gender in the states, in Ogun State, was doing the questioning. And then the IPO, they asked the girl, do you know this person? No. Do you know this person? No. Do you know this person? Yes. Who is he? The girl was saying, but I just mentioned the name, something like that. And it's okay, what happened? She didn't want to talk. They allowed him to go out. He went out. The girl started saying everything. Do you understand?
Yeah.
So it's quite funny. And when the guy was going to eventually, when we were going to take his statement, when I spoke to him, they look at the way I attended to him. Everybody saw it. Like, why would I change my activism because the guy is a suspect? I will not start supporting torture. I will start supporting human rights abuse. No. I said you will still go to jail.
Yeah. So
I don't know what you will do, but you will still go for a long time.
So what I did, I took that little section because what she said was a lot more than that. I'll try to get you I'll WhatsApp you the actual CTC. So
why are they not? The point is, Titus, why are they not challenging me that I am lying all these days? That the CCTV were not installed there, and it's still, why nobody's challenging me?
They can't challenge the truth now. Right now they're afraid. Trust me. They can't do anything. They've done the worst they can do. So we just have to be smarter than them. We just have to be smarter. That's all. So basically, I got the AI to analyze inconsistencies in the statement. So I'll just play that.
Okay. You want to play it? Good. Yeah. Let's listen. Let's listen up.
There are several inconsistencies and potential lies in the witness's testimony that could raise suspicion or suggest she is not telling the full truth. Here are a few notable points. 1. Quarrel over the Canadian visa. Inconsistency. Initially, the witness was asked whether she quarreled with her husband about the Canadian visa, to which she replied, "It was not a quarrel. I was not the one who had a quarrel with him." Later, she states in more detail that they didn't fight about the visa at all, and she even posted it on social media. Lie indicator. Her first response appears defensive and evasive, suggesting there may have been some tension, but later she paints a more idealistic picture of their relationship, which feels exaggerated. Father-in-law relationship. Inconsistency. The witness claims that she and her father-in-law were best friends and very close, mentioning intimate acts like sharing food and fasting together. But she also later reveals that the relationship soured after her baby was born, citing issues like her father-in-law's anger over not being given the placenta, as well as his bringing other women to their home. Light indicator. She presents conflicting stories of being best friends and then later describes a highly dysfunctional relationship. The sudden shift in the narrative may indicate she is overstating the earlier closeness to deflect suspicion. 3. The placenta incident. Inconsistency. The witness speaks at length about an incident where her father-in-law wanted the placenta of her baby and how that caused tension. Maybe trying to mislead or distract from the more direct questions about her relationship with her husband.
Musical break, boss.
What potential evidence of what really happened in the house?
Sorry?
No, we're cool with it.
Yeah, you can speak, sir.
Par 5. Injury to hand. Inconsistency. The witness is downplaying the severity of her hand injury, describing it as just a surface cut. However, the lawyer presses her on this, suggesting it was deeper than she admits.
Sorry.
3.
I just realized you were not hearing for a while, right?
Yes.
Okay, I'm just going to take it back a little bit, sorry.
Best friends and very close, mentioning intimate acts like sharing food and fasting together. But she also later reveals that the relationship soured after her baby was born, citing issues like her father-in-law's anger over not being given the placenta, as well as his bringing other women to their home. Like indicator, she presents conflicting stories of being best friends and then later describes a highly dysfunctional relationship. The sudden shift in the narrative may indicate she is overstating the earlier closeness to deflect suspicion. 3. The placenta incident. Inconsistency. The witness speaks at length about an incident where her father-in-law wanted the placenta of her baby and how that caused tension. This is unprompted and goes beyond the scope of the questions. Lie indicator. Her insistence on bringing up unrelated topics, placenta issue, suggests she may be trying to mislead or distract from the more direct questions about her relationship with her husband. 4. CCTV not working. Inconsistency. The witness first says the CCTV cameras were not fixed yet because they had just moved in a week before. However, when pressed further, she admits they had actually been in the house for 4 months. Lie indicator. The shifting timeline suggests she may be lying about the state of the CCTV to cover up potential evidence of what really happened in the house. Par 5. Injury to hand. Inconsistency. The witness is downplaying the severity of her hand injury, describing it as just a surface cut. However, the lawyer presses her on this, suggesting it was deeper than she admits. Lie indicator. Downplaying the severity of the injury could be an attempt to avoid implicating herself in any violent altercation that may have taken place. Number 6. Social media post. After death. Inconsistency. The witness admits to posting an emotional message on Instagram after her husband's death, expressing how he struggled to death and was never happy. This contrasts with her earlier testimony that they were close, happy, and best friends. Lie indicator. The post indicates her husband was deeply troubled, which she had minimized earlier. The contradiction between the Instagram post and her verbal testimony suggests she is not being fully transparent about the state of her husband's mental health. 7. Financial struggles. Inconsistency. Throughout her testimony, the witness repeatedly mentions her husband's lack of money, even stating he left his music label with 0 naira. Yet she also claims they were discussing moving abroad for their child's safety, a plan that would require significant financial resources.
Is it?
Lie indicator. The inconsistency between the family's apparent financial hardship and their plans to emigrate points to either embellishment or an attempt to portray the victim's situation as worse than it was. 8. Depression and mental health. Inconsistency. While the witness says her husband wasn't mentally unstable, she also describes symptoms of severe depression, overthinking, not eating, staying indoors, and being spoon-fed. These are significant signs of mental health decline. Lie indicator. Her attempt to minimize her husband's mental health struggles could be seen as a way to distance herself from any implications that she failed to provide adequate care or seek help for him.
They will do more than what they did to me.
Conclusion. There are several contradictions and exaggerations in the witness's testimony, which suggest she may not be fully truthful or consistent. These inconsistencies could be important for further examination, as they cast doubt on her narrative and may point to hidden facts surrounding her husband's death.
Okay. That's just that little section. Yeah.
This one is not little. This one is not little.
If you hear Adura's section, if you hear Adura's section.
God damn it. God damn it. And to be honest with you, most of the Nigerian judges they are as intelligent like this lie detector. You know, the lie detector might not even understand the tradition, African tradition. Where that is where even the judge will go further than what even this lie detector have brought out. Do you understand? Okay, you know what we're going to do? Tomorrow is Saturday. We have to go now. We'll continue tomorrow. I know you're enjoying it, but we can't finish everything today. So tomorrow, let's meet by 8 o'clock tomorrow. Is that okay, guys?
Sure. No problem.
8 o'clock Nigerian time.
Not a problem.
We'll continue with Adura part. We'll dissect this Wunmi stuff, and then we'll go to the Adura part, so that whatever we're going to be saying, at least from this platform, we're going to be so informed, and then we know 8 p.m. Nigerian time, except you want us to do in the morning. If we do in the morning, because I have a function.
It's weekend now. People, a lot of people will be at home, so we can.
So 8 p.m. in the evening Nigerian time. 8 p.m. tomorrow Nigerian time. Let's have a date. Having a date. Then I'll be able to say some. I will tell you some things, you know, classified off. I don't want to commit myself. But trust me, in Koki said I go. Ijapa meta. Hey!
So we can listen to Adura Soul. Mr. Titus, please be available. That Adura Soul, we want to listen to it too.
Yes.
No, not
Mr. Titus, we are not in Nigeria. So they cannot kidnap you.
No problem.
Mommy Abika, is it today?
Tomorrow.
Okay.
Tomorrow, you know.